Hi everyone, welcome to another Saturday writing stream. I am Misha Garrick, in case anybody is wondering, and I am a South African epic and urban fantasy writer. So, firstly, welcome to Alec, who has joined since before the stream even started. So, thank you very much for stopping by. And then, yeah, and to anyone else who's going to watch now in this stream and also in the future, if they're doing rewatches later, just thanks so much for your support, and I really appreciate it. If you don't mind to take a moment just while you're just here, right in the beginning, so that I don't have to do it later on, just take a moment to please hit like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel, because it pleases the algorithm gods and helps my channel grow. So I would really appreciate that. If, of course, if you enjoy my content. So yeah. Alec, did you do NaNoWriMo this year? I'm curious to find out how you did. So let me know. I'm trying to remember. I think you have joined my stream before, but it's very your photo looks familiar. But anyway, so I apologize if you have joined and you have answered this question before, but just let me know if you won or not. Yeah, so whew, nice. Hi Hal. I'm assuming you're Hal, but because no one else calls me M. So let me know if I guessed correctly. But hi. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce your name though for this purpose over there. So I'm saying over there, there. Yay, it works. Okay. So I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. So just maybe give me like a little hint. And then hi Aphrodite. Thank you very much for stopping by. Let me know how your nano went as well. And yeah, so okay, so Aphrodite says I couldn't do nano officially, so I am doing nano in December instead. Yeah, actually it's kind of my plan as well, but it's the 7th of December and I haven't started writing it or editing, but I am actually today, I decided to actually open up my first book in the epic fantasy series, The War of Six Crowns, because as some of you guys might know, is that I am actually supposed to be working on book 3, but I got massively sidetracked when I landed a massive contract for my freelance side of my business. So yeah, kind of lost steam there, and there's a massive thing that's kind of going on in the back of my head about something that I want to change about book 3, and for that I need to actually go back to the first 2 books to actually know if, or to just kind of remember once again whether or not I actually put the breadcrumbs into those books. I'm sure I did, but I just have to make sure. But yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to be doing today, with the idea of doing like a kind of a mini nano for the rest of the month as well, which might mean that I might stream more, but it depends, because you know December is pretty crazy. So might do it, might not do it, but I will at least, I'm trying to at least be here for the stream on every Saturday, despite the fact that we are having electricity problems in South Africa again. Woohoo! Anyway, but with all that going on, that's why I'm doing the stream this early today, because it's now 3 p.m. South African time. At 6 p.m., my entire town's electricity is going to be turned off for 2.5 hours. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. Anyway, so let me just, while I am here, by the way, if my voice is still sounding like really weird and really deep, still have that throat thing going on, so I'm trying to speak a little bit deeper, because if I speak on my normal tone of voice, my voice just kind of disappears very quickly. So I'm trying to preserve it a little bit by just relaxing my vocal cords a little bit and speaking a bit deeper than usual. So I hope it doesn't sound creepy or fake or anything, but yeah, there you go. So all right, so So I said hi, and Aphrodite said, okay. Okay, so this is indeed Al. Thank you very much for joining and for your support. Really appreciate it. And Alex let me know that Alec, I won at 50,464 words. Well done. Really, round of applause. I'm really proud of you. That is awesome. And then Naked Firefly says, hi, I'm here. Fantastic. Very, very welcome to you. And thank you so much for joining. And Aphrodite said, for December, I'm only writing for 20 days. The other days, I blocked out for Muggle stuff. Yeah, that's kind of the same for me, but I'm trying to... I'm actually kind of devising a kind of challenge for myself. It's something that I've been trying to do basically since September. But it's basically where what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at like 500 words a day and then gradually start upping my productivity. Because I'm actually not that unproductive. I'm actually constantly writing. It's just that I'm not constantly writing my own stuff. And I really need to get back to my own stuff because the entire reason why I started doing the freelance stuff in the first place was so that I could write more. So I really need to do something about the whole, writing more thing. So that's kind of the plan, but I haven't really decided yet. But for now, the big thing is for me to just get back to picking up all those plot lines in the War of Six Crowns, so that I could just get the how to put it, so that I can just get into the work again and get going. Because the more I put it off, because it seems like such a big thing to do, the longer it's going to take for me to actually get to it and to finish it, and that doesn't seem to be a really nice idea. And the thing, I mean, like, I'm assuming when you say Muggle stuff, it's stuff like Christmas, etc. For me, it's the same. Basically, starting on the 22nd, we have like 4 birthdays, and also Christmas Eve and Christmas Day going on. So it's just like, it's such a full week there. So I basically have 2 weeks left to write. Fantastic. Anyway, so Aphrodite says it's 8 a.m. here in Maryland. Nice. So it's at least, I was worried that some of you guys might find it way too early. So I really hope this isn't that bad for you, but I apologize for it. But it was just, for me, it was a choice of streaming earlier or just not streaming at all. So Alex says, I'm working on my newsletter magnet, having some difficulty figuring out how it ends. Ooh. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I hope you figure it out. Maybe my stream is like the good luck charm that you need to actually get it done. Let's see. Alex says 6 a.m. here. Naked Firefly says 2 in the afternoon. Hey Michael, welcome. Came to say hello. It's been a while. Things are calming down on the home front, and I'm less stressed, but still too stressed to write. Yeah, I know. Pardon. I know exactly what you mean. Stress is such a creativity killer, so take care of yourself, Michael. I really hope you start calming down enough to write. But you know what? I think right now the important thing is just take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and it will come. It will come back. But thanks so much for stopping by and saying hi. I really appreciate it. Aphrodite, and then Aphrodite says, I'm doing 1,000 words on my writing days. Very nice. No, that's a nice word count. I think if I can really sustainably keep doing 1,000 words extra every day, which would be devoted only to my own writing stuff, I would actually be pretty damn happy about it. So for me, what I want to do is like 500 words a day, then add 50 words, then add 50 words, etc., until I'm at a reasonably high rate. But I haven't been able to do it yet at all this year, so I'm still thinking about how I'm going to make it happen, to make it work. But yeah, at the moment also, for me, I think maybe it is a bit better to just say I want to write 1,000 words each day, because I currently have, maybe I should just do that so that you could actually see my face. That's better. Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to write. I think 1,000 words every day would actually be really good for me at the moment. I actually want to write a lot more, but I have three major contracts for my freelance stuff that I have to manage at the same time, and my hours, especially now with electricity cuts, etc., they're just not working out for me to do like all three contracts plus like the 3,000 words that I really want to write. So I'm actually, by trying to force myself to get to 3,000 words a day extra that goes towards my own writing, is just really creating a really stressful situation for myself. So I'm thinking maybe aiming for 1,000 words might be a better thing, and then try to up it maybe in January again once I've started clearing my schedule. So yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that I was going to be a lot better by today, but my throat is really being annoying, so I apologize for the constant throat clearing and hacking up of lungs, etc. It's not nice, but it keeps creeping up on me. Every time I think, okay, now I'm fine to talk, then I'm like, no, not quite. Okay, so in the meantime, I think we should just jump straight back into writing today, so that we can help at least Aphrodite get those 1,000 words done, and for Alec to figure out that ending of the story. So, lots of exciting things happening, and for me to actually figure out what I want to do with book 3. It's not like book 3 something's wrong with it. It's just that I'm not quite happy with it yet, and I think I have an idea, but it's a massive thing, so I just have to decide about it. But anyway, in the meantime, if you haven't yet, do let me know what you will be working on. Like I mentioned, I will be just reading from my book. But yeah, with the purpose of actually picking up my edits again later on. But yeah, let me know what you are working on, and then we can get started. So I'm going to start off because I think during Nano I played around with this, and I think it actually worked quite nicely. I'm going to start us off on a 5-minute sprint, because if you are writing or editing, I find the 5 minutes is like a really easy thing to start with, and to just kind of clear the palette and wash off the morning cobwebs or the cobwebs you've picked up from working throughout the day, etc., etc. So let's start with that, and then I'm going to see you guys in 5 minutes. I'm counting down, and then I'll see you later. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you guys in 5 minutes. All right, time, guys. Let me know how you did. I didn't do anything. I went to fetch myself some water, and yeah, added something to it with the hopes of it helping my throat. So that's why it's not quite looking quite nice and clean. But it is actually nice water. It's just got something in it now. But yeah, so that's what I did for my 5 minutes. So what did you guys do? Let me know in the chat. And if anyone wants to share excerpts, please do feel free to post in the chat. Just do keep it, in case of erotica, please kindly do keep it a little bit PG-13 because I actually do read them out loud. So curse words fine, sex scenes let's not. Okay, so but please do feel free to share, and then I will read out loud what you wrote, and hopefully my very South African accent does not ruin what it sounds like in your head. So cool. All right. So why I pointed that out is I see Alec is actually working on BDSM romantic erotica. So he says my newsletter magnet is a short story about angels and hellhounds. Interesting. Very cool. So and then Alex says 31 words, and Naked Firefly says read the scene. So who is that? Who is that directed to? Because if it's to me, I will definitely read one for the next after the next sprint, as soon as I've actually opened the document, because I ended up not having time for that yet. Michael says, I turned on Spotify and spent the time figuring out if I wanted to listen to my 2019 favorite list. Nice. I should probably also turn on music. I'm on Apple Music, but I haven't listened to it for a while because usually I listen to Apple Music because I have some playlists, and then yeah, it's kind of, it helps me write. So the yeah, the the fact that I haven't been writing actually kind of meant that I haven't been listening to music on Apple Music at all. But yeah, thing about Spotify, I actually want to join Spotify, but it's just I've put so much work into curating my own playlists that the idea of actually joining another place to have to do that whole process all over again doesn't really appeal to me. And well, and the truth is, because apparently there's a way to transfer the list from Apple to Spotify, but I'm not exactly sure how, and some people say it doesn't work. So yeah, I haven't really converted to Spotify yet. Alec says, oh, okay, so this is an excerpt. Later that day, Lawrence found himself standing outside a club. The sun had started to dip behind the western cliffs, overlooking the ocean that stretched on forever. And that's what I wrote, laugh out loud. Well, you know what? Thanks so much for sharing. And you know what? It's still better than I did. I did around 0. So that's an impressive amount of writing for 5 minutes, especially since you're still trying to figure something out. So good going. Seriously, no sarcasm. But yeah, so sorry. If you guys want to let me know how much you wrote, or if you wrote or anything, just post it. Even if I am jumping straight back into sprints. Same with excerpts. I do scroll back to check what I missed if you know, during sprints and stuff, if I get busy with something. The big thing about it is that, especially because I'm all alone on camera today, so the problem with that is that there's lag between me talking here and you guys talking on chat. So what happens is that if I actually try to wait for you guys to actually catch up with me, then there has to be like an 8-second delay of me being completely quiet. And that just feels really awkward. So I try to avoid that as far as possible. So I do actually keep track, and I will loop back to old subject lines if we go back to anything that I said earlier. I do have a way of, I think I usually manage to keep track, so don't worry about that. But just, yeah, be fury, keep talking. Don't worry about the speed at which I'm talking. I'm just trying to not have dead air. All right, so In the interest of that, I think I'm going to set us up for the next sprint. This one will be 10 minutes, and we're going to keep upping the sprints until we either run out of time or we're happy at like a certain amount. So yeah. Okay, so 10 minutes starts in 5 seconds. I'm going to count down and then I'll see you guys. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Hey guys, okay, so time's up. Let me know how you did. I actually managed to open a document, yay, and actually get some reading done. So I will read some of my excerpts from this book. This is The Vanished Night that I'm reading right now, being the first book in my War of Six Crowns series. So I will read a little bit from it every now and then, but I really hope you guys will join me by posting excerpts of your book as well, because I don't just want to make this about my output, but about all of you guys' output. So please do share. And while I was talking, I managed to scroll it right to the top, so now I have to find it all over again. So, hi Ava, thanks for joining. Nice to see you again. And then Ava says, I'm not normally up and moving so soon. I'm glad I caught that update about your stream moving up, Misha. Oh, I'm really glad. Yeah, it's really bad. I don't want to keep repeating it, but since you missed the first part of it, I have a massive power outage coming my way in 2.5 hours. So it sucks. But yeah, so that's because it's right in the middle of my stream. I decided to just yeah, basically just move it up so that I could actually get something out. But I'm really glad to see some of you guys are able to join me, despite the fact that it was early, because I thought that maybe I'm going to be talking to myself today. So I really appreciate you guys so much. You don't even understand. Alex says 170 words. Well done. Aphrodite says, I got 73, but I had to get up and make coffee because, yeah. No, okay. That is a totally legit excuse for not, writing 1,000 words or something. But so, but you know what? I think you did well. And also you made coffee, which is also a win. So go you. Naked Firefly says, rearranged a couple of scenes and started working on adding one. Nice going. Michael says, did a cursory edit of 1,215 words, wrote 23 new words. Nice. That is very nicely done. Ava says Michael is writing. Nice. Welcome back, Michael. So I'll let Michael just answer that for you, and because I actually just accidentally clicked that comment. And then Ava says, I got everything open and some sleep out of my eyes. Good. So we're getting ready for the next sprint. Awesome. All right. So please do share excerpts. I'm going to start off by reading just like the opening scene of my book. And then, yeah. Pardon me. But please do share. I'm seeing that we are quite a few people, so maybe not too long. Try to keep it a little bit shorter so that it's easy and quick to get through in case more people want to share. Otherwise, share as long as you want, and I'll just read the first part, and if it starts feeling long, I'll stop. So we can see how it works. All right, so please feel free to share a bit. Now, let me just find my page again, because I accidentally scrolled all the way to the top, and now this is the published version of my book. And because of that, it means that it's 8 pages before I get to the first chapter. Okay. Okay. The damp air reeked of blood. Callan staggered back in an effort to escape the scent, but immediately lost her bearings in the dusky light. Fog distorted everything. Shouts and screams and clashes thundered nearby. She ran towards the noise, through looming black shadows that turned out to be trees. They fell away with a sharp cliff, forcing Callan to stop. The sounds drew her closer to the edge, and she found a battle raging on a road in the ravine below. Red-clad soldiers flung themselves at those in black, slashing them apart. Red archers shot flaming arrows from the opposite cliff, completely overwhelming their enemies. A few arrows that missed the soldiers in black hit old yellowed leaves, lighting them like kindling. Callan watched, transfixed by dancing flames and flashing blades. Don't kill them. The voice shouted. Oh, sorry, let's try that again. It's an important scene. Don't kill him. The voice shouting the order sent shivers down her neck. Something about it stirred the evil entity in her soul to life. It stretched, filling her with dread. Callan cried out and woke up. She pried her eyes open and did an internal check. No, the entity had only stirred. It hadn't escaped the cage she kept it in. She pressed a pillow to her face and moaned. The entity frequently kept her awake with dreams of medieval knights hacking each other apart. It used her subconscious against her, cruelly turning the heroic bedtime stories her father used to tell her into torture. This wasn't any different from any of the others. Jittery. That's what she was. She'd made it through one fostering without someone getting hurt. Today, she'd finish packing and go to the next, and she was waiting for the other shoe to drop. The entity stirred again, mocking her. She shut her eyes and pushed at it, making sure it stayed behind its confines. It did. Okay, I'll stop for there. So, yeah, that's the opening for my book, actually. The first, literally the first few paragraphs of it. Let's see what happened in the comments while I was reading. Okay, Alec shared a little bit. When they reached the bottom, what he saw baffled him. The room was very similar to upstairs. However, very strange furniture filled the space. Interesting. I wonder what's up with that. And then Aphrodite. Aha. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that name, so please forgive me if I butcher it completely, but do share if you have a better pronunciation, and I'll try to fix it next time. All present hang on every word that Seda says as she speaks to them in a trance-like state. Their hearts like boulders, weighing their chest down as the news is still full of gloom, full of woe. Seda's eyes roll forwards and then they dart around the room, taking in the solemn stares. No words of comfort, she says, lowering her head. I take comfort in not being in the dark, Seda. Tandira says. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. I like it. It's you guys are so talented. I'm not even kidding. That is so cool. Michael says, I'm going to try. I've been trying to finish the first book in my Haleron series for almost a year. That's awesome. I keep adding chapters because characters argue with me, ending a chapter, and need to write the epilogue. I want to be able to start book 2. I know what you mean. My characters argue with me all the time. And then Aphrodite corrected my pronunciation, so I'm so sorry, but it's pronounced Seda. All right. Cool. I'll try to remember that. Seda. Awesomeness. All right. So, I'm not sure if more excerpts are going to start coming in. So if it does, I'm going to set up another sprint. But okay. Well, Aphrodite says, I think I prefer your pronunciation, actually. Well, cool. That's good. Oh, okay. Her name is Hades backwards. Very cool. Very, very cool. So, and then Alex just said, well, didn't even realize that. Learn something. I didn't actually either, so, but it's very clever. All right, so I'm going to set up another writing sprint, this time for 15 minutes. And then if you guys want to share an excerpt and you haven't had a chance to do it before I start it now, that's also fine. Just share it and I will come back to the excerpts. I will scroll back to see any comments that I missed. All right, so we're starting 15-minute sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And time's up. How did you guys do? Let me know. I got through I finished a chapter and a half reading through it, so it's all good. Now I probably should just go back a little bit and see if I can just do this. Search. Cool. Right, so I found where I want to do my read through for you guys. And yeah, but let me know how you guys did. Naked Firefly said, feeding baby. All right, so also good, so important. So yeah. Okay, Aphrodite says 220 words. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Please do share another excerpt. And then yeah, I'm wondering. Yay, more people. Yay, and Michael's getting some words done. Yes, awesomeness. 146 words. Very nicely done, Michael. Proud of you. Alex says 8,086 words, struggling with words today. It happens sometimes. But still, I think 186 words is quite a respectable amount to start with, so very nice. Okay, so I'm going to start reading an excerpt, and then you guys can still keep posting those word counts if there are any remaining people who are watching and who did write and who haven't shared anything yet. So just let me know. And then in the meantime, yeah, and also please do, while I'm reading, please do share your own excerpts, little snippets from your writing as well, if you want to share it. And have me read it out loud and kind of butcher the voice in your head, or names, stuff like that. So cool. All right, so this is now just like a completely new chapter, or not chapter, scene, in case you guys are wondering like why things are now completely different from before, but it's a different point of view character and everything. All right. Braving the cold for 2 slices of last night's margarita pizza. Whose genius idea had that been? James Braden rushed to the grand staircase leading into the white foyer. Ward's bare feet slapped the marble behind him. The frigid floors sent little shocks of cold up James's legs. Stupid house. It protested the move, loudly, but no. Only Ward's opinions mattered, and when asked, Ward had shrugged and said moving house would be for the better. Ward wasn't even a Braden. James's parents were only his guardians. James muttered a few soft curses, letting them out in a string of foggy breath. His feet touched the 3rd step from the top when a knock at the door echoed through the cavernous foyer. And the new butler hustled to the door and opened it. James and Ward stopped on the staircase to see who entered. James Braden Sr., his father, trudged in, weighed down with shopping bags. This looked promising. Could be the new... Okay, it says here iPod, but I'm probably going to change that to iPhone, because I wrote that before the iPhone was a thing. So I should probably update that at some stage. So I'm just going to say, it could be the new iPhone James wanted, or maybe a new games console. Do check on my wife, his father said to the butler, and lowered his voice confidentially. She went mad with her shopping today. James shifted his weight from foot to foot, waiting to be noticed. Ward's brows lifted just a fraction. The butler hurried out and returned, toting about 20 bags from designer boutiques. Mad indeed. James glanced at Ward when the butler dropped the bags and went out for another load. Whoa, Ward breathed. Diana did some serious shopping. James Sr. glanced up at them, or more specifically, at Ward. James gripped the frigid balustrade. You guys ready for school? James Sr. asked Ward. James's knuckles whitened. Yes, sir, he interjected before Ward had a chance to reply. His father finally looked up at his own son. The butler hurried in with yet another load of bags, more women's labels. James could hear his mother behind the man, chatting away with someone else. On her cell phone? Diana Braden breezed in like a queen, walking into a domain. No bags, no phone. She turned her head and spoke to someone behind her. An urchin in an oversized and faded jersey followed her into the foyer. Another charity case then. Okay, I'm going to stop there because getting to the interesting parts is a bit longer than I thought it would be. All right, so let's see. Lots of comments. Okay, Lida lets out a held-in sigh. This is all too much. We will win, my love, I promise you, Tanjiro says. Don't do that, she says. We will fight with all we have, but winning is not guaranteed. Or likely, Seda chimes in. Xander stares at Seda down as he stands. The future is not written in stone, as the witch would have us believe. She can only predict what has passed. A gift I personally find unnecessary. Your disapproval of me notwithstanding, as been noted on more than one occasion, Bartor. Nice. Let's see if there's a continuation. No. Okay. Very nice. I like the tension between the characters, Aphrodite. It's very cool. It makes for very compelling reading. Ava says, I wrote about 600 words on a non-fiction project. Very nicely done. Nice. Alec also shared, so he reached another doorway and glanced back. You coming, or are you just gonna stare? His eyes glistened with amusement. A second later, he disappeared through the doorway, and Lawrence rushed after him, glancing at the X's once again. When he reached Mike, he found himself in a small office with a dark wood desk and matching chairs and wood oh goodness, let's try that again. When he reached Mike, he found himself in a small office with a dark wood desk and matching chairs and bookshelves. He peered at Mike when he reached into a drawer at the desk. He pulled out a folder and returned to Lawrence's side. Come, I just need this before we start, Mike said. What is it, and what is this place? Mike smirked. It's a club. Interesting. Okay, Michael shared an excerpt as well. Yay, you guys, I'm so... Okay. Oh, gosh, okay. So, I'm so happy that you guys are sharing excerpts. It's very cool. I hope also correct my pronunciations. Really appreciate it if you guys do that, because I'm trying to keep track, and I hope I remember the pronunciations for the future, but can keep correcting me. All right. Lorian felt his belly and gasped. Wait, it's too dangerous. You only have his words that the Dark Ones can't detect him, and that still doesn't mean he won't be able to detect you. I have to try. I made promises to my brother and to you that I intend to keep. If this works, we'll at least have a direction to follow. And then Aphrodite creates Leda and Beitor. Cool. Right. Leda, Beitor. All right. Okay, that's for someone else, so I'm not going to read that out loud. Awesomeness. Thanks so much for sharing, you guys. I love what you're doing so far. It's very, very good. I'm very proud of you guys. Awesomeness. Okay, so we are doing it. We are killing it, guys. I'm sure. Okay, so let's do another 15-minuter. I think it's a nice amount for now. So I'm going to count down from 5, and then I'll see you guys again in 15 minutes. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And time's up, guys. How did you do? Let me know. Let's see. Okay, Aphrodite says, I was on a roll, so I have a longer one to share. Awesome. And then DL also dropped in and said hello, but he already left, so, but I really appreciate you joining if you ever happen to watch this again in the future, so thank you very much for stopping by, DL. But I hope you make it back. I see you said that you might, so fingers crossed. Gosh, you, Aphrodite, you really like to throw names at me. Please do kindly share the correction already, because I know I'm going to butcher this. All right. Sin takes off running, just fast enough to avoid capture. Just as he is sure his distance is secure, he peeks back to see that she is indeed still in hot pursuit. He laughs and turns to run again when he is hit square across the back by what is felt like a tree trunk coming out of nowhere. He meets the ground hard. By the gods, Sin swears. He looks up to see Dalor and Lyri staring down at him, laughing. I don't know if I should laugh or feel pity, Dalor says as he offers his hand to assist him. How is it you always manage to fall for his stupid traps? Stupid Lyri barks. It is not stupid if it works. Well then, let me rephrase then. He turns to Sin. Why are you so stupid? Sin dusts himself off and glares at them both. Why are you here? Sin says, trying to contain his frustration. Because I want to be? Dalor says, puzzled. My strategies are not stupid, Lyri says, still stuck on the previous insult. All I am saying is they will work only once. Or they will only work once. Unless you are obtuse, then maybe twice. He looks back at Sin, trying to hold back his laughter. You will find the Dreamlanders more of a challenge than our dear brother. Where was I? And then Aphrodite says, sorry about that long one, won't do that again. No, I don't mind, it was fun. It's a fun scene, thanks for sharing. And then Sin, Lyri, and Dalor. Okay, so I got two kind of correct, so I'm happy about that. Yay! But I think Dalor, did I say it correctly? I don't think so. Okay, and then Alex also, Alec, sorry, I keep calling you Alex, and I know it's Alec, but Alex is one of my character names, and it keeps coming up in my brain. Oh, sorry. Right, so it's also an excerpt. Lawrence glared at him. What is all this stuff down here for? Doesn't look like any club I've ever seen. That's probably because it's not. Mike walked by him, and Lawrence resisted the urge to punch the man. His short responses were getting old. Stop playing games. Mike chuckled. This is a BDSM club. Well, half of it is. He turned and left the room, leaving Lawrence standing even more confused than before. Yeah, I'd also be rather confused. So yeah, but interesting. And then Michael let us know that he wrote 221 words. I'm so happy to see you guys getting some writing done. I'm so proud of you. Well done. And then Aphrodite, 580 words. Ava did 308 and then sorted some holiday gifts around, got a pal helping to wrap next week. Nice. Alex says maybe 30 words. I went to the bathroom. Still good. Very good reminder. Michael says, by the way, remember to save your work. Yes, please. And also, if you haven't yet, this is also your reminder to back it up. And then Aphrodite also says, you did great. Yeah. Guys, you are doing awesome. Thanks so much. I'm so excited. Yay! All right, so let me just get to a bit for my excerpt. I'm actually at a very fun scene. This is one of my favorites because it introduces Darian. So, okay. Yeah, I'm going to start reading, and then I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Darian wrenched the flaming torch out of the ground and went to the head he'd severed. He picked it up by its hair and inspected the face. Not a Lyrian assassin after all. He'd seen this man in the general's tent often. He dropped the head in the mud and sloshed over to the other corpses. All of them familiar. All of them were Norwegian camp. They must have stolen clothes of Lyrian soldiers they'd killed over the past few days. Are you okay? Kayla asked from the darkness behind him. Trust her to be the first person to come to his aid, even when it was a bit too late. Fine. He kept his eyes on the corpses, trying to place them. Kayla moved into the circle of light, staring at them. House of Wernich, she said, answering his unstated question. She wiped raindrops from her unmarked cheek. You're sure? She nodded emphatically, pointing to a corpse with short blonde hair. He's my cousin. Her finger moved to the one with dark hair. His brother? The other two are second cousins. Westenmeer's like you, then? If the first family of Wernich was involved, big trouble brewed somewhere out of sight. She scowled at him, letting her scar further disfigure the left side of her face. Westenmeer, yes, but not like me. They can burn in hell for all I care. Kayla disappeared into the darkness, leaving him alone with his thoughts. Westenmeers didn't get their hands dirty unless they thought they could get away with it. Why now? Usually they hired poor fools to come after him. Maybe they'd finally figured out that nothing less than the best trained knights could kill him. And given that Lorcan Blakewen, let's try that again. And given that Lorcan Blakewen, Black Knight of Silmian and the last blood heir to Nordane's crown, could have no children, Darian's death had to be the Wernich's heart's desire. After all, Darian, his best friend Gawain, and Wernich's son, Quinlan Westenmeer, were the three candidates for appointments as Lorcan's heir. That appointment was sought after. People would kill for the chance to be future king. As heir to the House of Murian, Gawain had a family as powerful as the Westenmeers to protect him. Darian didn't. His only protection lay in the fact that he was a ferocious fighter with a wicked reputation. He dug his hand into his pocket and ran his thumb over the pebble inside. The Wernich, Ulrich Westenmeer. Ulrich Westenmeer had just risked some of his most important direct family members in an assassination attempt. They'd suddenly become a lot more determined to see him dead, even willing to risk tying themselves to the murder of one of the king's favorites. Why now? What did they know that he didn't? And that's where I'm going to pause it for now. All right. Yeah, I love Darian. He's awesome. Okay, so Naked Firefly says 3 more scenes added. Woo! And then Aphrodite says, I love gift trapping. I also love it. I don't know why. So, like, therapeutic. Ava says, loving the excerpts. Fun to see bits of what you're working on, guys. Yeah, I have to admit, mine isn't really something I'm working on. It's actually a published book already, but I'm rereading for the purposes of actually working on the sequel. Because I'm trying to edit the sequel, but I'm feeling like I missed an important plot point and I should put that in. And now I have to go find that plot point. So that's kind of why I'm reading from the start again. And then Ava says, I love it too, Aphrodite, bins and bows and labels. She'll do the wrapping itself. It's all brown paper. Nice. I love sharing the excerpts. Gonna grab some more coffee for the next sprint. Good call. Okay, so sorry. Me again. Okay. I think let's make the next one a bit longer. So let's do a 20-minute sprint. See if that's a nice amount for you guys to get some writing done in. And then I'll see you guys. So I'm going to count down from 5 and then I'll be back in 20 minutes. Which will be to like 0052, whatever. Just add your time, your hour time to that. And yeah, that will be fine. Okay. Woo! All right. That didn't sound awkward or weird at all. I apologize. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, guys, time's up. Let me know how you did. Yeah, so I see you guys left me a lot of comments, so let me just go scroll back a few and then get started. Okay, Aphrodite shared an excerpt. Yay! Right. Okay, so enough of you, Xander spits. He turns to the royals. May I also be excused? Tanjiro gives him a harsh look, which reminds Xander of his place. My apologies, Emiri leader. None needed. Understand. Please take your leave. Xander bows, then leaves without another word, but being sure to shoot Seda a look that she has become all too familiar with seeing. She sits up taller in her chair, refusing to let him find guilt in her expression. All I have to offer is my best, Seda says to no one in particular. Tanjiro stands. Your best is all I require. He takes Lida's hand and helps her to her feet. They head out of the hall and make the long trek to their chambers. Tanjiro stops for a moment and takes his wife into his arms and just holds her. She is stiff at first, but soon sinks into his embrace. I keep my promises. Very nice. I like your character interactions. It's very nice. You can definitely get like, there's a very big undercurrent going on, which I really, really enjoy. And then Alex says, it's also an excerpt. Okay, but before I start that, oh yeah, Aphrodite says, laugh out loud. I look up at the screen and I see you cracking up, Misha. Yeah, I just read a really, really funny message from someone and it caught me by surprise, but it was pretty damn funny. Yeah, so Alex excerpt. There we go. I can speak English. It's just, you would think I would be better at this. Okay, so Mike walked over to the small table that was pressed up against the wall and dropped into the chair, flipping through the folder. Lawrence approached and flopped into the chair across him. So, what is BDSM? Lawrence asked, unsure if he really wanted to know the answer. Mike stopped reading and looked over at him. The silence stretched as he answered Lawrence until he finally spoke. It's a lifestyle. BDSM is, to put it simply, dominance and submission, Mike explained. Lawrence furrowed his brow. That sounds violent. Mike smiled again. I suppose from the outside it would seem that way, but I assure you it's all consensual. And then Alec also says, I'm curious about what's funny. Yeah, it was just like, it was something, so Hal, the guy that was online earlier, actually, and we kind of met on a D&D server thing, and so we actually talk about a lot of stuff, and then he just sent me like a message at random that was like really funny. But yeah, it's kind of, you need to be there, so unfortunately it doesn't really help if I kind of share it. So I apologize for laughing and then not telling you guys, because it's just like lame. I know it's really lame of me, but that's just how it is, right? And then the owl says, here we go. All right, let's try again. All right, I'm back. Yay! Welcome back. I'm really happy to see you again, DL. Very cool. I hope you got some writing done. So if you did, do let me know. No, I already butchered so many names. Tanjiro. Okay. Tanjiro. Intro. All right. I keep butchering poor Aphrodite's names. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best. It's probably the thing about me reading them out loud, though, especially since it's like improvised. And Alex says, 125 words. Nicely done. Aphrodite got 415 words. Very nice. Michael says, 170 words, finished the chapter. Now I have to do an epilogue and maybe another chapter first. Good job. The epilogue I want to write is a historic prophetic flashback. The story is 71,000 words in total so far. Nicely done. You got Tanjiro perfectly. Yay! That's good. Right? And Aphrodite says, make my daily goal before lunch. Nice! Well done! That's like a massive one, and the crowd goes wild. That's really impressive. Nicely done, Aphrodite. And DL says, nope, to whether or not he actually got some writing done. I came back right before it ended. Okay, so that's too bad, but we still have some time left. I think I'm going to do some more sprints because I have like an hour before the power gets cut. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And then Aphrodite says, no, you did great. You just have the southern dialect of the Shawiri clan. I don't know if that's correct. They say Ton. So here, it's funny dialect that from your world, given that in my world I also have a southern dialect, being from like a southern country, like literally in the southern hemisphere. So it's probably like very fitting that I do have the southern accent. It would be a bit weird if I had the northern one. And then Michael says my daily goal. So I met my daily goal before breakfast. Guys, you are awesome. Well done. You guys are doing so good. I'm so proud of you. So, yeah, wow. I'm so proud. Okay, before I get into the sprint, I'm just going to read some more from the chapter where I was. So let me just find a spot quickly. Okay, so just from where I left off before, because this is a fun scene. And also just kind of puts you in Darian's kind of mind space. Okay, so just leave where I left off before. Even willing to risk tying themselves to the murder of one of the king's favorites. Why now? Why did they know? What did they know that he didn't? He'd have to send a messenger home to find out. In the meantime, he had a gift to send to the Werner. Darian pressed the torch into the mud so it would stand. He pulled off his cloak and put the severed head at. He went to work cutting off the other. Once that was done, he wiped his and sheathed it. Then he tied his cloak closed around the heads before hauling the makeshift sack over his shoulder, heading to his tent. A man stood waiting before its flap, shivering in the misty rain and making his torch one of House Murian's messengers. Darian frowned. Are you here to deliver a message to me? Yes, Commander. This was said with the leery respect Darian knew so well. What is it then? He entered the tent and held the flap open in invitation. The messenger eyed him for a moment before giving up on his distrust in favor of warmth. It's a sealed letter, sir. He headed straight for the fire, burning in the tent's center. I see. Darian lowered the flap. He dropped the sack by the entrance and went to the fire. Hand it over then. The messenger eyed him some more. You're younger than I expected. 18, same as the young Lord Gawain. Of course. You're his friend, correct? Oh. This had to be very important if the messenger asked this question, and it had to be from Gawain's mother. You could call us blood brothers. The messenger relaxed more and took the letter from his breast pocket. Strange things are happening back home, sir. Darian reached for it and opened the seal. Strange things? Yeah, although I'm not ranked high enough to know what they are. A burning stick from the fire and lit the lamp hanging from the tent's roof. I'm sure you're one of those smart ones who pays attention to everything happening around you. The messenger's posture straightened proudly. I am, sir. And I'm telling you, most of the 5 houses are worried about something. Most? All except Werner. The messenger nodded wide-eyed. I don't like those jackals. Not one bit. Me neither. But then Darian didn't like any of the 5 families. He had 5 friends in all of Nordain. Gawain, Kayla, Gawain's mother Meria, Lorcan Blakewen, and King Connell. Lorcan was the closest thing Darian and Gawain had to a father, which made the king their almost grandfather. That's what had the Westermere so worried. One of Lorcan's surrogate sons were more likely to be appointed his heir. If they ever succeeded in getting rid of Darian, Gawain would be targeted next. Darian regarded the messenger while writing the letter. The man looked almost honest enough. Have some wine to warm yourself. Thank you kindly, the messenger said, sounding surprised. Hardly anyone expected kindness from Darian de Muriel. Go on. Darian waited until the messenger was at the drinks table on the opposite side of the tent, then lowered his eyes to read the message. And then I'll stop there. Right, some more comments coming. DL says, I think I'm going to work on Blood Games, so a new project when it comes to actually writing the story. Nice. And then Ava says, I way overshot that sprint timer. I got to around 100 words, but then I scampered off and got a drink and played with a little for a minute. That happens sometimes, so it's still cool that you came back, so I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. All right, so let's see, how much time do I have? Okay, so I'm going to let's do another 15-minute sprint this time. And then, unfortunately, the sprint after that might have to be the last one because I don't want to just disappear. But I am, since we're doing longish sprints, we are going to have I have an hour still before we run out, and the power gets turned off. And but yeah, so we're making the best of this, getting some work done together. So let's get 15 minutes done. Gives us a bit of time to get through some comments and excerpts and stuff like that, and then we do one more sprint, and then yeah, hopefully we have some time for more excerpts before. Yeah. Oh, I actually forgot about that. Eva says, in 1 hour, Cass has a release party stream. A reminder. Okay, so then I think, yeah, so perfect, Michelle, though I'm sorry you're going to be in the dark. Yeah, I know, it's terrible, man. I don't want to. I think just in the past 3 days, I think I've been without power for 21 hours in total. It's it's fantastic, guys. You cannot imagine. And then just to mention, Cass mentioned in the release party stream is Castiel. Castiel. I should probably say that. It sounds so bad at the name. And then DL says, I think it's in 3 hours, isn't it? I thought it was 10 a.m. Pacific Standard. That is, or PST. I'm just going to say PST and act like I know what I'm talking about and nod along. Okay, so then Eva says, oh, maybe you're right. Okay, so then in that case, I'm going to go with a plan, 15 minutes, then we see how much time we have left, and then we decide on the final stream length after that. Cool. All right, so counting down, and then I'll see you guys in 15. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, guys, time's up. Let me know how you did and share those excerpts. Share. I'm really interested to see how you guys did. And yeah, so while I'm waiting, I think I'm going to just read my excerpt because you guys didn't post an excerpt during the sprint the way you did before, so I can't just start with one of yours. So I'll just start with mine, and then that should give you guys time to reply. Okay. I just have to find a nice starting point. Gosh, only one thing that's kind of annoying is that how much technology has changed since I wrote this book, because now I keep seeing things and I'm like, no, I need to change that. Anyway. Okay, so 5 hours. It had taken the entity 5 hours last night to lose interest in its game. Callan had managed to cage it in some dark recess of her soul. 30 minutes after that, her alarm rang and she had to start her first day at school. Callan's sigh marked the limo's window. The grey and golden landscape rolled past without end. Her stomach lurched every now and then, despite her efforts to stay calm. Nothing like a new day at a new school, with next to no sleep. James's cold stare pricked her skin the instant it settled on her. She frowned at the passing scenery and focused on breathing. The damned limo had no air. The cool glass soothed her sweaty forehead. Exhausted, she tried to relax. Even the limo's forward motion failed to keep her head from spinning. She stifled a yawn and her heavy lids drooped closed, but Callan shook herself awake. The blurring scenery made her eyes water, so she inspected the car's interior. Why would someone need a limo to go to school? Probably to keep the boys in the lap of luxury for the maximum amount of time. DVDs lay strewn about, unwatched, console remotes discarded. The car itself worried her. The pomp and circumstance it implied would draw attention wherever it went. She might as well have shown up at school in a pink minibus with purple flowers, like the one the Gregsons had driven when they had fostered her. Callan shuddered at the memory. On a list of top 10 most hateful, non-evil things in her life, people ogling her hit number 1. Her skin crawled at the mere thought of it. She glanced at James and he sneered at her. Callan's temper flared before she could tamp it down. She didn't want to be part of his family any more than he wanted her there. She opened her mouth but caught herself before words slipped out. Damn it, her reflexes had been dulled. How could she manage a new school in this state? Want to say something? James lifted his brows with a smirk. Callan scrambled to put out another spark of impatience. She clasped her skirt's soft material. No, she said and glanced down. Damn it all to hell. She straightened the pleats on the black and blue checked material with slow, deliberate motions. No one could get to her this time. She wouldn't let them. Her temples throbbed from the effort to control her emotions. If only she could ask for some aspirin to prevent the inevitable full-blown headache. Concentrating on keeping a low profile would be like setting off a jackhammer inside her skull. In the beginning, she'd winged it whenever she got dumped in a new school, but she'd learned she needed plans. When she went in unprepared, she made mistakes, which led to curiosity and invariably to trouble, like Jack Mulligan. Callan had been 12 when the Mulligans fostered her. Jack took an interest in her that had her cowering from him until the day she failed to hide. The entity had blacked her out the moment he tried to attack her. When she woke up, the police were there. Jack never reappeared. And I'm going to stop there. All right, let's see what you guys had to say. Okay, so Ava dropped out now because she has some errands to do before Cass's party and all the other afternoon streams. So I already said goodbye to her, but I really appreciate that she stopped by. Yeah, and then Aphrodite says setting up my formatting for most of it. And then that being, I'm assuming the excerpt she wants to share, or for the stuff she's writing. So yeah. DL says 529 words, very nice. And then Alex says ignore that one, but I don't know what to ignore. Let's see. Since he said ignore that one, I'm just going to ignore it. So cool. And then 239 words. And then also the start of the excerpt. Don't do that, Lawrence frowned. Do what? Don't play stupid. Mike stood from his chair and walked around the table, staring down at Lawrence with a look that could kill. You know, Lawrence did know. He may not know the details, but something deep within did. He knew why Mike's eyes at commanding voice did things to him that wasn't comfortable enough to say out loud. Let me just see now, because I think... okay. That's a very tense scene, Alex. Very, like, it packs a punch, even the small amount of words you shared. Alec, gosh, sorry. But Alec, I think you're really good with, like, dialogue. It's very nice. And then Aphrodite. Well, I have had enough fun for the day, Daylor said as he pats Sin and Leary on their shoulders and heads for the keep. The Emery is teaching me how to make something called quiche. Sounds disgusting, Leary says. Then I know not to save you any, brother. Hey, that does not apply to me, Sin yells. Daylor keeps walking, giving a quick wave of acknowledgement as he goes. Sin takes a deep, cleansing breath as he looks Leary over. She's the only real joy in his world right now, as his heart still lies heavy with the ever-present doom his spirit carries. How much longer will he be able to just run in the sun with his childhood friends and be free? When will Shohiri become the battleground against Gon and his minions? How many more moonful nights will he lie under as a mirror of a peaceful realm? When will he need to give up his crown for a sword, his throne for a shield? Will he be victorious? Will he survive? Nice. Deep questions. And no, she says. Sorry, she says. Sorry, 275 words written. Very nicely done. And then DL also shared an excerpt. Guys, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. Quinn's fist made its way through my forearms. A second blow landed flush with my sternum, expelling the last bit of choked air from my lungs. Ouch. Ouch. It was a powerful shot. Outside of having the wind knocked out of me, I noticed a fair amount of pain in my chest, one that I wasn't accustomed to. A punch to the face, yes, or even a kidney shot. I'll just... but the chest was a part of my body that wasn't used to taking as much punishment as the rest. I stood straight. My swollen eyes stared at my opponent, a slender redhead, half my age. The kid tried to stand tall, but I could see the fear in his green eyes, hiding behind his freckled cheeks. I studied Quinn's posture as he panted for air. His stamina was drained as he slumped forward, but then again my stance lacked structure as well. My age and stiff joints from the numerous injuries I had suffered over the years were catching up to me. He started to inch forward, his body swaying from side to side. I watched as his shoulder leaned back, followed by a sluggish right hook. I turned out of the way and wrapped up his stretched arm. In one smooth motion, I flipped his body over mine and onto the pavement. As he slammed into the ground, I seized the opportunity and thrust my left fist toward his face. The sharp pain of my knuckles smashing into the gritting ground came as a surprise. I wasn't expecting the kid to roll away from my punch. I stood back into my stance, cringing as I held my fists up to protect my face. I could see the skin scraped off my knuckles. Bits of asphalt were embedded in the bloody flesh. The slight protrusion of the knuckles was near absent, and my fingers were unable to close into a full fist, alerting me to the fact that I had broken my hand as if the pain wasn't enough. Ouch. This is bad. Poor guy. Quinn closed in on me and threw a sequence of jabs and hooks at my ribs and face, most of which I managed to block. As he finished, his body leaned in close to mine. He was weak and fatigued. Before the redhead had a chance to back off, I wrapped him in my arms and thrust a knee into his abdomen. It only took one blow before he slipped out of my grasp. It was clear the kid hadn't been in many fights before, or at least not against an opponent as skilled as I. His eyes shifted about my body, desperate to find an opening to end his punishment. His mouth sat open, trying to take as much air as he could into his burning lungs. After gaining my breath, I charged at him and threw a right hook for him to duck under, and then threw another. But again his body swung under my arm, and in response he hit me with a hook of his own. My body twirled to the ground. The impact sent ripples of pain coursing through my already aching body. Ow. Nice. I like it. I like this fight scene. It's really well done. But yeah, it's very cool. I think this guy is really underestimating Quinn though, because I have to say say that I noticed that Quinn landed quite a few blows, and he managed to dodge quite a few as well. So I'm like, yeah, that guy is like being very he's being a very slippery kid. So but I enjoyed that. That's very well written. And then Aphrodite also said, "Ouch!" So yeah, both of us are like, from that fight scene. So, and also DL Stewart is writing all my fight scenes for me. Nice. And stop being extra. Joke. It's very, very nicely done, guys. Okay, so now we have 25 minutes left. So I think let's do another 10-minute sprint, one last sprint, and then see if we can do really, really like very quick excerpts, and then I'm going to say goodbye. And hopefully I don't disappear before that. But if I disappear, I'm fine, but my power cuts out, which means my internet is down, which means end of stream. So yeah. And yeah. Just before I go, I see DL says the main character is in his late 40s, early 50s, while Quinn is in his 20s. Very, very nice. Yeah, I kind of picked up that there's a big age difference, so it makes sense from your description even. And then Aphrodite says, it's freeing sharing the rough and raw passages as we write them. Yeah, I like it as well, because it's just, it's almost like getting some instant gratification, because a lot of us write not necessarily because we want to have it written, but just because we like sharing our stories. So since if we write it and we don't share excerpts, then it kind of feels like it's going to be months, sometimes weeks, years before people actually see what we're working on. So it's a bit, I enjoy sharing what I'm working on every now and then. All right, so 15 minutes. No, let's make it 10 minutes. And then we can start saying goodbye. So I'm going to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go. Okay, so time's up. How did you guys do? Let me know. And I see that you guys did quite a lot of excerpt work, so very awesomeness. Let's see. Yeah, I just want to mention Aphrodite said it's freeing sharing the rough and raw passages as we write them. Every time I hit send, I cringe a little though. So I just said, this is what I said, because it's absolutely true. No cringing and no, this is a no judgment, no cringe zone. So that's the thing. Everybody has to be nice and comfortable with sharing rough drafts because we don't all write perfect rough drafts, guys. And it's just all fun. I really appreciate you being brave enough. It's really awesome. Okay, so Aphrodite's excerpt started. Clearly, your mind is not here with me this afternoon, Leary says, concerned. You're right. All I can think about is the impending war. Leary nods. Isn't that why we are preparing? Your father will never let you fight it, you know it. I'm of the age of consent. He cannot stop me. When this all goes down, there is a big chance we'll never see each other again. I am having a very hard time with that thought. Who's the silly little girl now? She mocks. You're never getting rid of me, you creep. Brothers till death. Snap out of it and try to punch me. Sin smiles down at her, but the concern never leaves his eyes. A puzzled expression cloaks his face. One she's never seen and doesn't know how to read. She playfully shoves him, but he doesn't bite. Sin? He turns away from her and heads for the nearby brook. He sits out at the bank and just stares out blankly into the waves. She joins him. No more hurt games, Leary, he says solemnly. There will surely come time enough for that in the very near future. What do you propose we do? She says, looking out onto the waters as well. I refuse to just sit and wait. Nice. And Aphrodite says, totally need to remove an adverb or two. Absolutely, but you know what? That's for editing later. No fuss around about it right now. Sorry. Sometimes when I hit the button to scroll down, then it just jumps. It's very annoying. Says Alec. This life gives most a sense of peace they cannot find out in this world. That in itself is good, no? Lawrence furrowed his brow. What kind of peace could someone find in letting another control them? And he wrote 114 words. Nicely done. And DL says, DL also shared an excerpt. Laying on the pavement, I glanced at the audience in attendance through swollen eyes. My vision had grown fuzzy, and black dots appeared around me, blocking out the majority of the camera flashes. I tried to focus on who I knew were in the front row somewhere, but everything was too blurred together for me to find them amongst the crowd. The one person I the referee as he approached, speaking to me but distorted. I know, and I just waved him off as I stood and tried to get my footing back. My legs struggled beneath my weight, but I was still in the fight. I regained what little of my vision I could. Through the blood trickling from my brow, I could see Quinn standing with a stare of disbelief. I gave off a slight smirk as I spat blood from my mouth. He approached and threw a couple of jabs, which I quickly parried away. With his last jab, as I pushed it away, I came in with a jab of my own. He lifted his arms in defense as I threw another. After a flurry of jabs, I landed a left uppercut. An agonizing pain jolted from my broken hand and up my arm, but it was worth it to watch him stagger backward, even if he managed to remain upright. I could see the confusion in his eyes as he stumbled forward and threw a loose hook. His throw was so sluggish, I managed to wrap his forearm around against my chest and pushed my palm against his elbow. After a brief moment, I felt a pop. Unsure if it was from him or me at first, but then I felt his arm bend in the opposite direction from the torn tendons. Ow! Poor elbow. Quinn screamed out in a shuddering cry of pain. I concede! I concede! After a moment of disbelief, I released his arm and started to analyze the audience. Nice. Very, very good fight. Nice. And then Aphrodite says, I gotta go, my friends. This was awesome. I'll check back later to catch whatever I may have missed. Well, guys, I think there are like 10 minutes. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a quick excerpt read and then we can say goodbye, I guess. Right. The door opened, but she refused to acknowledge the intruder. She couldn't deal with anyone right now. Callan busied herself at the sink, expecting the girl to move on. She went back to wetting her face. At least the girl gave her a reason to control her emotions. Are you all right? A clear and gentle voice asked. So definitely not the blonde, although the voice sounded about the same age. Callan kept up the splashing. The girl didn't get the hint. Instead, Callan heard her reproach. You took a bad fall. As if Callan needed further reminders, she ignored the girl until she only heard the sound of running water and her own breathing. Silence. She altered her motions to listen. You know that you'll prune if you don't stop soon, right? For heaven's sake. Callan reached for the faucet and shut off the water. Can't you take a hint, she muttered. The girl chuckled. Callan shook her hands off in an attempt to release some of the pent-up frustration clawing at her insides. And here I thought you'd be crying. Callan straightened with the full intent to stare the girl down, but ended up slack-jawed. A vision with red hair stood before her. In all the places she had been, she'd never seen a girl as stunning as this one. Of course, the redhead came nowhere close to Callan's mother, but still, sky-blue eyes and soft laughter waited for her to respond. She didn't. Of course not. Silly me, you're a tough cookie. Callan arched her eyebrow at that wild assumption, but managed to hold in any smart remarks. If back-chatting entertained this girl, Callan would keep her tongue under control. She reached for the towel next to the mirror and dried her face. Not very talkative, are you? The girl asked. Callan inspected the redhead from behind the towel and tried to work out how to best get rid of her. Not a phantom anymore. She'd settled for the weird tongue-tied girl with zero coordination. Callan bit to the inside of her cheek and turned to the mirror above the basin. One look at her makeup-free face and Callan lurched for the trendy bag Mrs. Braden had given her. She dug for an emergency makeup kit and came up empty. Was nothing going to go her way? Where was the kit? She knew she had packed it. Well, I'm Claire Hughes. The girl held out her hand. Callan disregarded it. See, now you say, Hi Claire, I'm Callan Blair. And then you shake my hand. Then we laugh at the unintentional rhyme. Callan's hand still. How did the redhead know her name? Well, Callan, I'm pleased to meet you. Claire huffed and crossed her arms. How did you? You're the only new girl my age, Claire said. Great. Perfect. The school was even smaller than Callan had thought. She reached into her bag for the compact, but couldn't feel it. She narrowed her eyes at the bag's mouth. I'm your new roommate. Oh, excellent. Someone determined to be a good roomie. Great. Callan gave up on digging and emptied her bag into the basin. The kit fell out last, of course. A minor explosion in her temples prompted her to search for something to stop her raging headache. One empty aspirin foil. When had she taken it? She hung her head. First days sucked. Okay, I'm going to stop there, guys. So, yeah, Alex says, gotta go to the bathroom again. Thanks, Misha. Have a good night. Bye. Yeah, so that's basically the end of my excerpt as well. And since we only have like 6 minutes before the planned power outage, I'm going to say goodbye. I want to say a super huge thank you for you guys who came in 2 hours early to watch this stream and to take part. I really appreciate it so much, guys, and I really hope that next week I will be back at the normal schedule, which is 5 p.m. South African time. And I do believe it's 11 or 10. I'm not exactly sure Eastern, so just check out the conversion. Easiest though is if you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and that would also help me a lot, because in the event that this load shedding thing, which is the whole power outage stuff that my government is doing at the moment, is going to be continuing. I don't know exactly when I'm going to start, so I might have to start earlier or later again. So if you guys want to be part of the stream, please hit the notification bell so that you can see the moment I schedule it, because that's going to be the best way to know when I'm going to get going. But yeah, Naked Firefly says, hopefully I can share excerpts next time. Yeah, I hope so too. That would be cool. But yeah, so with all that in mind, thanks again. And if you haven't yet, please do hit like. Please, the algorithm gods, for me, please. Thank you. And yeah, then I'm going to see you all next week. I hope you have an awesome week and very productive week, and that you guys get so much writing done. And then I'll see you. And stay awesome. And don't forget, I love each and every one of you. Bye-bye.